So if you guys don't know me, my name is Josh, Florida Mortgage Dude, powered by American Home Mortgage. My office is 2 blocks up the road. I've been in the loan business for 6 years now, and I've learned a lot about marketing and advertising. I come from marketing through a local newspaper, so I have quite a bit of experience with advertising and all that fun stuff. And if you don't know, I do a lot of video work. So you guys know what I do, but how I do it is a little different. I have a loan partner, Kaylin, in the back. Hi, Kaylin. She helps me keep my head on during the day because I'm a very creative person, so I like to float around and have all these really great ideas like this Level Up workshop, but the day-to-day like CRM database management stuff is like where Kaylin like excels, and that really helps keep my head straight so I can continue to service you guys with the best possible customer service. But the why I do it, I think, is a little different. So usually if you ask somebody like why you do what you do, it's like, oh, it's to help people, which is a great aspect of my business. But I really do it because I want to provide confidence in my referral partners, and I want to provide the relief of stress and anxiety for my borrowers. We all know this process is very stressful from start to finish. So myself and Kaylin team up to try to just vet out every borrower we can and make sure that we're providing the best possible customer service for them, but also keeping you guys updated and in the loop. All right, enough about me. Huge shout out to Yes Coffee for basically vouching for us today. Coastal Church usually does not allow people to come in for profit to speak, but we gave them a little bit of an update on our situation, and they were more than happy to have us. So shout out to them, and thank you guys for coming out today. I know that you guys have a lot to do, so we're going to try to run through this. Again, we got a little bit of a late start, and I apologize, but the next one that we do will probably be a little bit later in the day. And then also a big shout out to Chris Atwell coming in clutch today, man. I appreciate it. He's going to do some speaking. Alex Bittner wasn't able to make it. He actually got sick. And then Chris was able to step up to the plate like literally last minute. So, all right, enough about that. So to get into it, if you guys haven't set goals for 2023, it's not too late. We're still at the beginning of the year. I actually have an annual goal worksheet, and I wish I had a TV where I could put this stuff up so I could show you what I'm working with. But this worksheet helps me kind of organize my tasks for the year, and I break those tasks up by the quarter, I break those tasks up by the month and by the week so I can focus on the actions that matter. So the annual goals worksheet, this one's really simple to fill out. Basically, you start with how much money you want to make this year. And then you break it down by deal, you break the deal down by month, and then you break how many deals you'll get from your referral sources. So for everybody, that's going to be a little different. I can't tell you like where your referral sources are. For some people, it's like a church. For some people, it's their sphere of influence. Maybe they have connections to the family. But it helps you kind of categorize where to put that time, because if you're not focusing on where you're putting your time and you're just kind of taking it day by day, you can't really track where your referrals are coming from and where you need to spend your time. So you can't measure what you don't track. So this kind of helps you track that. Today we're talking about mainly like Facebook and Instagram. Facebook and Instagram are a great platform for hyper-local business owners like yourselves, because you guys are the business owners and you have to do everything. So one major aspect of being a business owner is focusing on those actions that matter every single day. And it can be such a pain in the butt. An action that matters is not filling out a contract, writing an addendum, going to an appraisal, stopping by an inspection. That's working in your business. An action that matters is working on your business. That's where you're getting your leads from, where are you spending your time, how are you doing your marketing. My actions that matter right now, I have 3. It's put out a video every day. Me and Kaylin are working on refining our client intake and database management. And I have to work on unique marketing aspects every day. Like if I don't work on those things, my day's not complete. I've learned that being a loan originator, I actually don't originate loans anymore. I actually manage a database, and I am a marketer. That's literally all that I do. Like the loans that come in, that's working in the business, and I can't spend my time working in the business. So for you guys, it's almost the same. But when you guys have leads come in, you work them, right? So you're showing them property or whatever it is. Once it goes under contract, You really got to have a transaction coordinator to kind of take you out of the day-to-day process. If you're in the day-to-day process, you're not working on your business. If you're not working on your business, you're not setting yourself up for growth in the future. So this is like the big thing I really wanted to share with you guys today was this marketing calendar. Again, I wish I had a TV, but I don't. So this is like a little snapshot. So each one of these are a month. So it's hard to see, I know. But yeah, you guys see that? This is it. All right, y'all have a good day. No, it's set up in an Excel spreadsheet, so you can go in and you can look at each month. It's not like January, February, March, dated and all that. It's literally you pick up wherever you want and you just run with it. So the way you use the calendar, I'm a meat and potatoes guy. I don't like big shiny things. I just want to get to the point so I can go about my day. So each month you'll see that every day has a topic that you can post on. So you make that topic your own. You apply it to your business, your personality. It's not always about business. It could be something personal, one of your personal interests. One of your goals as a social media personality is to grow an audience. And you do that by showcasing what you're interested in. It's not always like, hey, I'm a real estate agent. Hey, I'm a real estate agent. That's a part of the message, but your main message shouldn't be, hey, I'm a real estate agent. It should be, this is my life. Like, be one of my fans, be in my circle, and then when they need your real estate services, they're gonna think of you because you're gonna be the one that comes top of mind. But the calendar helps keep you on top of their mind because there's different topics you post about every day. So what I really like about this calendar is there's a tab for quotables. I'm not a big fan of quotes. I don't really like them, but a lot of people really do like them. So there's a whole tab that has like 80-something quotes that you can choose from. Oops. Yeah, we don't need that. The quotes are all, it's either anonymous or it tells you who it's done by. If you're doing a quote, I highly recommend you getting on a service like canva.com. Canva's usually free. Canva, you can go in and create an image and put the text over an image. I might do a class just on like Canva because my business cards, my business cards, my Christmas cards, all this stuff, like this was all made in Canva. Like I can't go a day without Canva. Canva sponsoring this event. Hot Cues is another one. That is, Hot Cues is a whole section of questions that are engaging. This takes a little more creative thought because it's not just like, it doesn't lay the question out for you. The question is structured in such a way that you can place in what you're trying to talk about, but it's placed in a manner that is gonna be engaging where more people are gonna reach out. My favorite tab by far is the questions. The questions are I've had the best response on any of the posts so far. As soon as I post a question, it's like, hey, if somebody was gonna give you money to renovate one room in your house, what would it be? Like Lauren did it. She got like 30 comments or something on hers. 60. Okay. I did it. I got 20. Yeah. Sorry. It's crazy. It works so well. And then there's a whole section of hooks. Sorry, I got those backwards. The hooks is the one that you kind of build to make your own. So if you're doing a video or a post, it's an engaging title or an engaging thought that gets people to respond. If you're not responding to those people that are reaching out to you on social media, like that is a huge missed opportunity. Like I just started TikTok like 6 weeks ago, and I got like, thank you, and I got like 11 or 1,200 followers now in a short amount of time, but it's because I've been posting videos on there like every weekday, and it doesn't have to be a full sit down like professional shot video. It could be literally like I like to act stuff out, so it's fun for me. And then everybody that follows me that would be important to my business, whether it's another loan officer that has really good ideas or a realtor in a state that I plan on expanding to, like I follow them and I message them in directly because I want to build a connection with them. That engagement, guys, is like, that's what you're really striving for. You got to take that conversation off of social media and make it real. There's almost like a thought where it's like when you're engaged with somebody on social media, like it's not really them. Like that's not a real person, you know, because it's like Facebook, right? It's like whatever. It's just but as soon as you get their number and you start texting them or calling them or emailing them, like that's like solidifying your relationship. So with these posts, you have to start engaging. If you don't engage, I think it's a very, very big missed opportunity. So some examples of those quotes. If you're not willing to risk the usual, you'll have to settle for the ordinary by Jim Rohn. Like, that's a pretty good quote. And I literally just picked it out of this list. This is just a little snapshot of it. Rolling through to the questions. What are your top 3 most used apps? That's probably not a very good one, but that might work. Describe yourself in 3 words. That probably is a really good one because people want to talk about themselves, right? Like when we start talking about ourselves, people tend to shut down, but when we're like, hey, how are you today? Let me talk about you. People wake up, they want to talk about themselves. So, and then the engaging, the hooks, this is a little more difficult. So it's this one says here's a website that helps you, then in quotes it says action and pain point. So if you find a website, Canva, because Canva's sponsoring this workshop apparently, here's a website that helps you create your business cards and all of the media that you could ever use for your account, all your social media posts, all of your, I do my intro and outro videos, images in Canva, I do all that stuff, and it's free. It's free. People want to know about that, how to use it, especially if they're into marketing. And going back to the calendar, today, so we're the 4th Thursday of the month. Today would be a quotable. So you just go in, copy and paste the quotable in your Canva image, and then upload that to Facebook and Instagram, and you're done for the day. You can go on Facebook, and you could schedule out your posts. You could pay for Hootsuite, and you could schedule posts out on multiple social media platforms ahead of time. The next day is an endorsement. So you literally go in and endorse or recommend a person or service. I would go in tomorrow and recommend Yes Coffee because not only do I love their cold brew, but they're it's an awesome environment. And the people that work here are amazing. And then the day after that is always be learning. What did you recently learn that made a difference? We're always learning stuff every day. If you're not learning as a real estate agent and you're just shut down because you got it figured out, you're not going to grow your business. So you can share those things with your audience. And your audience isn't always going to be engaging with these posts, but because you're throwing so much content out there, something's going to hit, and then you could pick up on that. And I also recommend with any social media platform to advertise multiple times a day. Sometimes, dude, I'll drop 4 videos on TikTok just because whatever I'm doing that day, I'll post my funny video, informational, and then something will change with interest rates, and it's video, 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 just because that's going to help push up your engagement and the views on your posts. I feel like this is a game changer. I'm really on, and this is what compelled me to start this workshop. Is this is a free tool that everybody's going to get today. You can go back to the office or back to the house or Starbucks or stay here and create your content for the next week. And if you put it on auto posts, it just goes out. And then when you see people are engaging with it, engage with them, and you're going to grow your audience. That's the big thing is using this to help grow your audience. Yes. Yeah. Yes. Queen. Yes. Do it. But that's going to do it for me. This was, I really want to just kind of blow through this just because I know we got a little bit late start. I'm sorry if I'm talking fast, but I don't want to hold you guys too long. If you guys would, please help me welcome Chris Atwell up to the stage. Thank you, Chris. I'm going to pass over my mic pack.
Swap.
Do a little swap. Dubai, Chris.
You got it? Yeah. So this will work, yeah? No mic check needed?
No mic check. I'll go check.
Right. Hey, how are you guys? Wow. Hello. Okay, you're highly convincing. So we'll try this one more time. How is your morning? Okay, that's a little bit better. So what I want you guys to do real quick, I know we had a little bit of networking time beforehand. I want you to try to look around, find somebody you don't know or aren't overly familiar with. And I want you guys to exchange some information quickly. And that is, what is your most valuable characteristic about your home or a home? Okay? Can you do that in 30 seconds? 30 seconds. Exchange information. What's your most valuable characteristic about a home? All right, you guys, you get a little bit of information. So shout out, what did you learn?
I
What? Perfect.
That I talk too much. Cheers.
So, what's your favorite characteristic about your home?
My patio.
Okay. Your pool. What about you?
The patio as well.
The patio. We got patio twice. Who else?
Double lot.
Double lot. Oversized. Brady. Your wife. Wow. Man.
She's like,
Eddie. Patio. So we got patio 3 times. Very interesting. What else? Anybody else? What's either yours or your neighbor's favorite characteristic about their property, about your home or a home?
This is fireplace.
Fireplace. Oh, wow. So where are you from?
I'm from Florida. I'm a Floridian.
Wow. So a Floridian that loves a fireplace. That's pretty cool, right? So mine was water pressure and a shower. I said I can literally have a floor to sleep on, but as long as I have a shower with ample space where I'm not hitting my elbows, like in the UK or something, I'm good. With ample water pressure, everything's great. So what did we learn in that quick little chaotic exchange of information?
Get you out of your shell.
It gets you out of your shell. Okay, cool. What else? Yes? Everybody's looking for something different. So,
was that the answer?
no, that is a very good answer, though. Let's hear one other. What did we learn? Say it again.
You can talk to strangers about, I don't know.
Whoa. Say it louder for the people in the back.
You can talk to strangers.
You can talk to strangers. Now, let's put a pin in this for just a quick second. As Josh mentioned, I'm Chris Atwell. Do you guys just have an extraordinary amount of confidence in Josh and Alex? Or is there something that you need to know about me that would make you feel more confident in my information that I'm going to provide you with real quick this morning?
I'd like to know who you are.
You'd like to know who I am. Okay. So I'll give you the quick synopsis. My name's Chris Atwell. I'm from New Smyrna Beach. Okay, so I'm a Floridian like you. And you. Anybody else is Floridian, born and raised? Wow, so many of you like me are Floridians. Very cool. Even though I've been in the real estate industry and sector for a little over a decade now, I've been around it my entire life. So I've gotten a lot, literally since the day I was born. I'm a second generation realtor, okay? Title insurance was my gateway drug into this industry. Because of being around this industry and these people and so many professionals, not unlike Megan and Josh in the back, okay, I have been able to develop a worldwide network of real estate professionals, all who are proficient and share and mastermind with each other on marketing, the latest concepts of even how we're paying for real estate. Who knows that real estate is being transacted in other countries in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other currencies?
South Florida.
That's true, but they're not recorded. It's not, the conversion's kind of weird. But these things are happening all around the world. And I've got to tell you, this is free. You guys don't have to pay for this. I've been traveling a pretty good bit the last couple months. And I've got to tell you, have you ever been around and seen a friend that you haven't seen in a few years and you come back and you see them and you're like, wow, you've gotten old. That's how I feel going to other countries and coming back to the US. So just think about that for a minute in context of your real estate business. But is that helpful for you guys to know? So we're going to talk a little bit about, going back to our other conversation, we're going to talk a little bit about communication. How many of you have ever seen somebody post something on Instagram or Facebook in their professional setting and thought, wow, brother, that is not your best self, or sister, that's not, you could have done way better. Anybody? I have, for sure. I've been guilty of it. I've been talking to myself. Like me, myself, and Irene, Jim Carrey. I'm like, yo, what'd you do? Okay? So the question becomes, I see a lot of realtors who talk to consumers like they are other realtors. Is anybody guilty of that? Okay, cool. So the question becomes, if we're going to market effectively, where is our identity? have we identified the person that we're trying to market to? Can you guys come up with a couple characteristics of your ideal customer? And don't give me this, oh yeah, $3 million cash buyer, because that becomes difficult too. So try and give me a genuine response. And if you haven't thought of it, that's an okay response too. The whole idea of this little workshop and this little supercharger, if anybody drives a Tesla, is to invigorate you with a different thought process to get you on the right path to growing your business in 2023. Does that sound good to anybody? So going back, the question is, who's thought of it? Who has thought of, who am I really trying to identify and communicate with? That's because I've asked you. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. Do you think maybe that's a decent place to start? So for example, this is the most, not the most, but a very polarizing example that I give just to get you guys thinking. If I'm trying to do business with Arabs, which I do business with Arabs all the time, I'm not going to be going and telling them everything I know about Jesus and how great he is. Okay? That's not what we do. Nor am I going to go to the Pentecostal church and try and tell them how great the Middle East is. That's not going to be a great foundation for communicating. So if you're trying to deal with, let's say, an upper level, we were just talking a few minutes ago about dealing with physicians and lawyers and people like that, highly educated people that are maybe in that price point in this area that would help you grow your business and get to your $15, $20, $30 million goal a little bit quicker, then don't come at them talking about elementary characteristics of real estate. Don't come at them talking to them like they're another realtor or a first-time home buyer. Come at them talking to them like a professional, direct, something they would appreciate. So take that minute and just to yourself identify and maybe even write it down, put it in your notes app, whatever. What are the 3 characteristics of my ideal customer? And let's be realistic, okay? Because there's a certain level of maturity that comes with being realistic, right? And I'm not saying in your age or in life, I'm saying in business. If you've been working for the past 6 months with first-time home buyers, don't go, well, my ideal customer is actually, the doctor that I just spoke about. Fair enough? So take 20, 30 seconds and do that. All right, you guys have at least 1 or 2 characteristics that you're thinking about? That you've written down something? See? Okay, cool. So now comes the question, what are my pillars going to be? How am I going to communicate with that person or those people that I've just identified? Again, if I'm trying to communicate, let's flip the script. If I'm trying to communicate with first-time home buyers, I'm probably not going to be showing up soliciting people from Advent Health, right? Sitting out in the physician's parking lot, putting posters on the windshield like I'm a pizza flyer man. Which, by the way, that's a real thing. I didn't just come up with that. I've seen that happen. So you're going to communicate with them differently. Do you think if your ideal customer is probably not using TikTok, do you think it's a good idea for you to use TikTok? If your ideal customer is maybe more the LinkedIn type, do you think it might be a good time for you to learn and make LinkedIn one of your pillars? Something that you come from the ground up to reach those people that you've identified as your key and ideal type of customer. Let's talk about social media for a minute and what you should be doing on social media. And this is true almost across the board, whoever that ideal customer is. Whatever your pillar or your vector for communication is, which, by the way, I'm going to give you this for free, and I don't know why, but this is just a little nugget. We have turned away from paper, and for good reason, but we are at a particularly interesting generational shift where people that are 60, 70, 80 that value paper are selling their homes more than perhaps ever before in our history. So, if you see an opportunity and you say, you know what, I just love working with old people. I just love working with seniors that are retiring. Maybe paper isn't a bad place to start. I'm not saying put all your eggs in that basket, but it's something to think about. And how are you consciously communicating in any form, whether it's that, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok. Maybe it's a networking event that you host for your particular group or people that would be likely to come to that type of event. Whatever it is, make sure that you're constantly conscious of the way that you're communicating. Yes, in the back. What's your name?
My name is Mindy Melendez.
Hi, Mindy Melendez. How are you?
I am good, thanks.
What's up?
With the paper situation,
Yes.
as a former educator, I have my master's in education. Paper is key for some types of learning. So I always make sure that I have both because I am very ADHD. I have to see it on the paper to go through it. So I always make sure I have both types to hit both types of people.
Wow. So it's almost like she read my mind. Mindy, even though she's a master's in education, likes short stories because she read my mind. It's a really good point. And actually, that's where kind of the direction I was headed in. So when you're communicating and you're going through these pillars with the people that you've identified as your ideal customers, right? There's three main things that you want to do. Can you guys say that with me? There's three main things I want to do. Okay, that would be great, but it's like 10:30, 10. There's three main things I want to do. There we go. Okay. I want to, number one, educate. Number two, entertain. And number three, or inform. If you can figure out how to do 2 out of 3 of those things every single time you put out a communication, you're going to be successful. If you can figure out how to even do one, that might be your starting place, and that's okay. Educate, entertain, and inform. So in social media, again, thinking about your ideal customers, if you're really trying to drive toward a professional, are you going to be doing the latest Instagram, TikTok trends? Well, maybe, but probably not, right? Out of curiosity, if you're dealing with first-time home buyers, are you going to be starting out with the price point? This is a really good conscious communication thing. No?
The price point of what?
Of the property that you have listed, for example.
Well, you kind of do because you don't want to get them to go in there and be like, oh, this is what I want. And then you're like, oh, but you can't afford this. This is what you can afford.
Great point. But when you're communicating, do you want them to become defeated straight out of the gate because they think or have a misconception that they can't afford it? Because they haven't gotten with a good lender like Josh. They went down to their schmo at the bank and he told them you can only get X. So oftentimes I'll see really good and well-meaning realtors, great real estate practitioners post something like, just listed $525,000. And this is my other favorite one. Some of you guys have heard me say this before. 1,953 square feet. So now you've got somebody who thinks, my budget, I can only spend $500,000 because they haven't been educated. And you just posted a listing for $525,000, they're out. And then if it wasn't before that, they have a misconception that I absolutely need 2,200 square feet because my current house is 1,800 and it's just too small. But we all, as professionals in this business, know what? The 1,800 can be more useful than 2,200 depending on how it's laid out, right? So when you're communicating with your customer, and the first-time homebuyer thing is just an example, think about what you're starting out with. What are you leading with? What are you breaking the ice with? And what reason are you giving them to come back? if you'll notice at the beginning of this whole shindig, I started with a question and started with you guys asking each other a question, hopefully. The reason for that is the only way that you're going to be able to truly identify what your ideal customer wants is by asking the stupid question. Don't overshare. Ask questions. For example, Mindy, your master's in education?
Yes.
Where'd you go to school?
Ohio.
Ohio. What university in Ohio?
Ohio Dominican University.
Ohio Dominican University. Very cool. Did you go to undergrad there as well?
No, my graduate school was Ashland University.
Ashland University. And where is that?
Ohio.
It's all in Ohio. Amazing. But I'm learning things about her in just a quick conversation, continuing to dig and dig and dig. Are you doing that? And this is the thought I want to leave you with if you don't take anything else away from what I've said. Are you learning from your customers so that you can better serve them and better communicate to them? Or are you just sharing and telling everyone how great you are? Because really, monkey see, monkey do, right? And I'm not calling any of you a monkey. It's just the vernacular that I happen to use. Realtor see, realtor do. We tend to get a little faddish in this industry. And if they're doing it, then I have to do it. Well, that person at the top that's being held up by these different pillars, that ideal customer, may be completely different for them. And that is okay. So let's do a little quick rapid fire. What questions do you have regarding communication? Let me ask you this. Is there anything that I've shared today that's been helpful that you think you can implement within 72 hours, even if it's a small change? Yes? Cool. Then I've reached my goal. Because that's the whole thing here, is just giving you guys some nuggets of information, small steps that show up in big ways. Who knows that the old satellite dish, not that there's a ton of those running around anymore, you know, a satellite dish just being off by a couple of centimeters can throw everything off because of the distance. It's a small change, but it's big once you follow that trajectory up into space. Same thing with your business. That can go the other way. It can throw everything back right where it needs to be. So make a small change. Do it today. I'm going to give you guys a little freebie. Have I ever gone through the buyer thing with you? The best tip of advice, this is totally off of social media, but it goes back to the pillar of communication, and it might have you thinking a little differently. The best advice I can give you when you're working with a buyer, or a seller for that matter, but especially a buyer, because we do what? We purchase on emotion, and then we rationalize it with logic, most of the time. Would everybody say that's fair?
Yes.
Yes? I can tell by the nods of the heads you're agreeing. Cool. Slow down. When you're communicating, slow down. I'll give you an example. If somebody says to you, hey, what's your name, sir?
Melissa.
Melissa. Hey, Melissa. You know what? A kitchen is super important to me. Like, my family and I, we love gathering in the kitchen. My wife's a chef. So when we purchase our house, the kitchen just has to be a bit of a showstopper, or at least have the potential to be a showstopper. When you come with me to that showing, and because you're such a good professional, you've gotten that kitchen set up, everything's good to go, you've identified the right house for me, don't glaze over that and rush through the fact that the kitchen's amazing. Stop. Before we ever get in the house, have me fantasizing about the kitchen, okay? Have me thinking about all the different meals that I'm going to share with my family in the kitchen. Slow down. Take time. Whatever that medium is, whether that's in person or over social media, whatever it is. Don't be so quick to share, oh, look at this house. I'm here. I got a great photo of the kitchen. How would it, you could say something like, Chris, how would it sound to you if I told you that I found the best kitchen in Flagler? The most beautiful one I've ever seen at this price point.
I'd be dying to see it.
I'd be itching, right? And if I told that to my wife, then she's itching. And now already we've had expectations for the kitchen. You see where I'm going with this? So the whole point is know your customer, know your ideal customer, know who they are. Know what vectors or what pillars of communication you're going to use to communicate with them. There's not necessarily a wrong one. There's just always better options or could be better options, okay? And number 3, slow down and communicate with them in a conscious way that's well thought out, and most importantly, that asks questions. Cool? All right. You want to get some coffee? Another round? Sure thing. By the way, if you guys have any questions or want to connect further, I'll stick around for a little bit. I know Josh has my contact info, but my email is chris@chrisatwell.com.
But are you on TikTok?
I'm not on TikTok. But
Soon to be.
You can follow me on Instagram @ChrisAtwell.
Chris, thanks so much, man, for coming out. I know it was a last-minute thing, but I've worked with you in the past, and a lot of the information you provide is like very insightful. Even just like having those, bringing those items to attention, like your 3 pillars of communication. You know, or you can leave that plugged in if we're doing Q&A. To educate, entertain, and then inform.
Yeah.
It's something that we may not think about. We all kind of know, but when you bring it to people's attention, it really helps. Get the message out there. Like the intention, it provides the intention behind what you're doing.
Yeah.
But cool, I appreciate it. Does anybody have any questions about anything we've gone over today? Is everybody ready to start marketing their business more effectively? Awesome. I am going to send this out to you guys today. Today, I'm going to go back to my office. I'm going to go home. I had to bail on my longboard and I busted my knee, so I'm going to go elevate my knee and put some ice on it. But I'll send this out today along with the goal worksheet. Some of the things that Chris was saying, identifying where you're getting your business so you can refine your message, and then you can put it on your goal sheet, because that's going to show you where you need to spend your time. It's necessarily your physical time, but where you're putting your energy in your business. But cool. All right, guys. I think that's really it. I think that's the message today. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming.
Can I give you one last freebie?
Yeah. Always want freebies.
We in Florida are in a unique situation. If you want to know more, come see me later. But the 3 things that I would work on if I were you and I was in residential real estate in the market that we're going through and going to experience over the next 18 months. Number 1, I'd take an ABR class, accredited buyer representative, if you don't have it already. Number 2, I'd take an RENE class, real estate negotiation expert, okay? And number 3, if you're really, really feeling frisky and like an overachiever, I'd go after the SRS, okay? So ABR, RENE, SRS. You didn't get my alphabet soup? No? ABR, RENE, and SRS. Cool? That's your freebie. But do it this year. And I promise you it'll pay off. Cool.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, guys. That's going to do it for us today. If y'all want to grab a roadie, feel free. The coffee bar is still open. Keep mark your calendars for next month, February 23rd, I believe. It's the 3rd or 4th Thursday. I'll be promoting the Next Level Up workshop. Myself and Megan Farrell Nelson will be going over video marketing, which is a big one. So she had to jump on a call. So, but yeah, she gone. But again, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you for your time, and I will send this stuff out to you today. So, thank you.